Alright, so this is Mono Black Discard. Really fun deck to play, not too fun to play against. Really, the whole idea here is make the opponent discard as many cards as possible, and then punish them for not having enough cards in hand. We do that with some pretty straightforward cards. Hopeless Nightmare, 1 black comes in, they discard a card, you draw, they also lose 2 life, and then you can sacrifice it for 3 and scry 2. Those scries are actually really important in a lot of games when you're on the back foot. Ruthless Negotiation, 1 black, exile target card from their hand of their choice. Flashback for 5, same effect, but we also draw a card. That draw card has had some substantial impact on a lot of games. 1 copy of Tinybones, you could go up for 2 if you really enjoy this effect. Sometimes this just runs away with a game by getting to play their deck for them after they discard it from something like Hopeless Nightmare. Cut downs, go for the throats, Deep-Cavern Bats. These all do the things we want. They're pretty much part of the standard black package. Deep-Cavern Bat also removes cards from their hand, which is relevant. Bandit's talent is the star of this show. 1 colorless and a black. Enchantment comes down. They discard at least 1 card. If they choose to discard non-land cards, though, they have to get rid of 2. That occasionally comes up if an opponent's got like 3 land cards in their hand. You top deck this later. Certainly relevant. 1 black, level it up, and then if they have 1 or fewer cards in their hand, they lose 2 life. This is very often how we're killing opponents. Just 1 or 2 of these on the playfield, every turn they draw, they lose 2 life. If you've got Shelly down, which we run 4 of, they'll also lose 2 more life when they draw those cards. Shelly is also really important against decks that just want to draw a butt ton of cards, because we can't actually go through that many cards. We have to rely on just like 11, 14 or so cards to make them discard, and so if they get to a critical mass, we just can't keep up. This says, okay, you want to run that critical mass, start taking life for it. Thought-Stalker Warlock, really good card, menace, 2/2, kind of fine on its own, but it comes in, if they lost this life this turn, you choose a card for them to discard, if not, they just discard a card, really solid. Liliana the Veil, I doubt I need to say much about this. 2 black and 1, 3 power planeswalker, discard a card, everything we want to do. Target player sacrifices a creature, really relevant, especially if they have protection from targeted spells like cut down and go for the throat. And then on rare occasions, you might get to the -6, and that matters. And then 1 copy of Rankle's Prank here. This card is a lot of fun. It certainly has won me some games where we can just say, okay, they're close, each player loses 4 life, and that's just enough to put them under in a close game. Discard 2 cards, sacrifice 2 cards, or all 3. Very versatile card. I don't really think you want more than 1, maybe 2 in here, because you're not often wanting to get up to 4 lands. These are really the game has gone on longer than we would have liked, and we're in the top deck trying to find answers. Yeah, alright, really fun deck. Again, to play, not so much to play against. Pretty solid win rate. Let's get into the games. Mono black discard against Tattooed Ginger Lad. Love it. Playing Liliana Avatar. And we find a pretty interesting opening hand. Triple Swamp Cut Down, Bandit's Talent, and Liliana. I think we can keep this. We could ask for a slightly better hand, but honestly I don't think this is bad. They show us Jungle Hollow. Turn 2, Bandit's Talent. They'll have to discard a card, but they probably have a card they don't care too much about. So this probably isn't super detrimental. They actually get rid of Virtue of Persistence. Huge. Tinybones comes down. I think we just let that down and Bandit's Talent number 2. Make them discard again. We now have 2 Lilianas in hand and a Thought-Stalker Warlock. They're down to 4 cards before the draw. They bin the second Virtue of Persistence. They get out their own Liliana. I think we just bin Liliana here. We in a Liliana race here. I can play mine, bin the Thought-Stalker, and then +1. Yeah, I think that's fine. Each player discards a card. They bin another land. They don't have the land to make this active yet, but that is scary. The creature land is definitely something they can use. They find another one, and they find Shelly. Ooh, boy. Okay.
I'm tired of your secrets.
We immediately got to kill off that. Really don't have much of an option. And then we need to hope that our Bandit's talents can get us far. We can actually get the draw engine going, though. And +1. If they find a land this turn, they can Restless Cottage us. They do find it. They do get the cottage up, so there goes our Liliana. We need to find removal now. They do get a food token, which gives them even more life. Presumably they're going to +1 as well here. Not a whole lot we can do. Find the Deep-Cavern Bat. We got an interesting option. I think we're playing Deep-Cavern Bat, hold to go for the throat. And then hope that they don't Liliana -6 yet, or immediately go for the negative. What we want to see is them Restless Cottage. They don't, they -6. Okay. Or they choose. Yeah, so essentially I can keep my Deep-Cavern Bat, my 2 Bandit's talents, or I can keep my 4 swamps. I'm going to go with pile 2 here, actually. Oh, wait. Yeah, I'm going to sacrifice pile 1. Can I... Nope, apparently not. That's fine. So we say all my lands. You're going to swing for me 4/4. You exile my Liliana, that's fine. I go down to 14. I draw an additional card. And an additional card. Don't find what I need. It's unfortunate. We get in for 1, heal for 1. They lose 2 more life. Now they've got the food, so they're actually not at 7. Actually more at like, what, 13? Yeah, 13 at the moment. They can get another. Doing really good. We need to find some lands. Draw another card. Shelly's not going to come in use anytime soon. We do find something. We're going to immediately Ruthless Negotiation. Okay, doesn't hit anything, but it's fine. They lose 2 more life, go down to 2, and now this turn they are going to need to start doing food shenanigans. They immediately pop 1. They no longer have the mana to play Restless College unless they've got another one in hand. They say, nope, I'm going to go up another life. It's fine. They play a swamp, and then they tap 2 and go back up to 11. That's fine, actually. We find another swamp. Really what we wanted. We're going to hold up Go for the Throat here. If they try to say, let me get Restless College back out, we just respond by killing it. That's exactly what they do. Resolve. Kill the Restless Cottage. And I think that's probably going to be GG for us. They just immediately scoop. Yep. Came back from the Liliana. Fantastic. Alright. Going in against Bobby Bob. Alright, going against Bobby Bob. Interesting opening hand. Triple Swamp, Bandit's Talent, Thought-Stalker Warlock, and 2 Shellys. Not the best opening hand by far. I'm tempted to keep it because we have the Bandit's Talent, but we also don't have a turn 1. Turn 3 is Thought-Stalker. We get rid of 2 cards. Draw the land, pop Shelly, and then it just gets removed. I think we can do better. This is better. I'm tempted to bend the land here. I want Thought-Stalker Warlock if we can, but we also have time to get the last land for it. And turn 1, turn 2, I have pretty much the responses I want to do, which is Nightmare into Bandit's Talent. Alright, opponent plays Mountain and Reckless Lackey. Could be goblins, could be pirates. Do we need to kill this? I don't think so. I think we just Nightmare, force them to do the discard. If they get in 1 first strike haste, that's fine. Interestingly, it hit us with that last turn, actually. Scorching Shot. Alright, we see the second goblin come down, so we probably know what they're playing by now. They got Goblin Token. I think we do need to kill that, actually. Yeah. It's going to be a big problem. We're going to go ahead and kill that immediately. We have 3 of the cut downs. We can just use them. Goblins run out so many of their creatures that I think it's really important to stabilize first and then go from there. Both Reckless Lackeys can attack. Fanatical Firebrand comes down as well. Not really too worried about most of this. We're going to go ahead and cut down one of the lackeys. They'll get in for 3 damage. We hold the last cut down for anything more meaningful, and then we just need to try to stabilize against this for now. We can go ahead and play Thought-Stalker now, remove whatever card they have in hand, and put up a 2/2 blocker, which is actually pretty big against them. Comes down, they gotta discard. Nope, it's the bolt, it's shock. There goes our creature. Alright. They come down with another Firebrand. They got 4 damage, so we're on a 4-turn clock here if nothing changes. We gotta change some things. I think Hopeless Nightmare. Hold up 1 cut down, and then we try to find Shelly is probably our best answer right now. There she is. Opponent's turn. We'll cut down something this turn more than likely. Okay, they go to attackers. I think we if we go for the Reckless Lackey, they just tap it and draw a card, get a treasure token. We don't really want that. So I think we just kill off one of the Firebrands instead. They go ahead and do the sacrifice anyways before the damage goes through. Pretty weird. That's fine. They've got no mana. They got 1 mana. And Shelly comes down, and unless they can remove this, this is a big thorn in their side now, and should help us stabilize here against goblins. They might have some goblin sacrifice. Oh, they find Cranko. Okay. So we couldn't remove that with cut down anyways. We do need to find some answers, because they've got too long of a window here, or we got too long of a clock. You know how many cards? Bandit's talent. They have 3 goblins, so they're going to get 3 goblins per turn right now. No attacks. They're going to lose 4 life at the opening. Go down to 12. Impact Tremors. Which is going to add some damage. Very nice. Very good top deck for them. Alright. They've got 1 more of the Fanatical Firebrand, so we're really at 8 right now, is a good way to think of this. Get a little more life. Is Thought-Stalker or leveling up the Bandit's talent better here? I think leveling up the Bandit's talent is probably best. No point trying to get in. Yeah, they just chump block. At least this way we can control which one we get. They go down to 8. They're going to get 6 damage guaranteed, and then they can swing in and get another 5 damage guaranteed. So we're just dead, right? Yep, go down to 5, and then they can swing 5, and we can only block 1. This does not have lifelink, so we're dead. Unfortunate. Does opponent see it? Opponent does not see it. Buys us another turn. We get another Bandit's talent. We get to draw. We find Rankles. Rankle's Prank. Cost 4, but we would do 4 damage and then 4 more damage to them on their upkeep. I think we can do it. No attacks. Their turn. They lose 2 life on the upkeep. Oh, they can just tap. Yep, there it is. Good game. Alright, going in with Batsy. I wonder if they played the Bat deck. Speaking of bats, we start off with 2 Deep-Cavern Bats, 2 go for the throats, Tinybones. Alright. I think we keep this. It doesn't have really any of the discard we want to see most of the time. But if Tinybones can start getting in, it's so good. They do have the cut down, so Tinybones is immediately gone. Sad. Right, turn 2, we go ahead and play down the Deep-Cavern Bat. See what they're working with. Looks like they do have removal open for it. So we're probably going to see it go for the throat here. Could be a second cut down. Oh yeah, they've got all the removal in the world. Okay, we'll still know where to run. They'll probably cut this down. It's fine. Yep, there comes the cut down. They get to know where to run back. Play a swamp. Play out our other Deep-Cavern Bat, though we know we're going to lose it. All they found was Mudflat Village. They find Unstoppable Slasher. That eats up 2 of our Go for the Throats, but we do draw another one. I think we just hold the land open. Interesting, they say I don't need to kill this bat right now. You can ping me a little bit. They go and play Mudflat Village. And they actually are quite low on lands. Or on cards in hand. So this is not too bad. Okay. They say go for the throat. That's fine. We just let that resolve. They get the card back. Unstoppable Slasher dies once. And Unstoppable Slasher dies twice. Okay, we find the cut down. Finding all our removal, which is unfortunately not really what we need right now. Their turn. They play Swamp. Both pretty much drawing off the top here. We just need to find some of our removal, or some of our discard, and we do indeed with Bandit's Talent. This can immediately come down. They have to discard at least one. They probably get rid of the removal. They do indeed. We get to upgrade Bandit's Talent, start dishing out some damage though. And based on what they've shown us so far, this should be really hard for them to interact with. They've got 1 card left. They do go ahead and play Virtue at full power. That is rough for us. Let's go ahead and level up Bandit's Talent. Ruthless Negotiation can stay in hand. Unfortunately, this means we now have to start removing their creatures quite quickly. Looks like they're actually going to go for one of our bats. Which is fine. We'll do cut down. They can see our hand. They know we've got the go for the throat. They draw a card. They've already taken the 2 from Bandit's Talent. And they pretty much have to play this or get it removed. Ooh, that's a card. Okay. We find Shelly in a swamp, so we can actually do 2 things in 1 turn. Shelly comes down. We will go for the throat this. We really don't have much option. Virtue of Persistent triggers. They go get Tinybones. Interesting. They lose 2 life. Shelly. They find their own Bandit's Talent, so there goes our Ruthless. We can still play it from graveyard, though. They level it up. Do we care if they try to get in? Nah. Find the second Shelly. Doesn't really matter to us. I think we Ruthless Negotiation for the card draw. Life gain. Can't go in. They say, here's my Deep-Cavern Bat. Let me see what you got. Get rid of our other Shelly. It's fine. They take 2 damage. They take another 2 damage. They're down to 5. As far as races go, we are way in the lead. I think the biggest question is, do we stop the Tinybones if they want to get in with it? And Tinybones says they can play a card from our graveyard, right? Yeah. Unfortunately, that just gives them access to all the cutdowns, and so we're going to lose Shelly regardless here. Lose 2 life on this. We draw 2 cards. We find another Bandit's Talent, which is huge. So I think we remove Deep-Cavern Bat. We drop Shelly again. They get to bring a creature back, but I believe we've got 6 damage on board now. Oh no, they bring back the Shelly so that they can restore 2 life. Very nice. Do we decide to block the Unstoppable Slasher? I don't think we can. This doesn't kill Shelly, so unless they've got more, we're fine. They don't show anything more. They get in for 2 and then half of our life. They go and level up Bandit's talents. I don't think we block this. Go down to 10. Such a beast of a card. Go up. Stay at 6. Stay at 6. Good game. They can't stop the Rankle's prank. Each player loses 4 life. Done. Boom. Mirror matchup. Quite fun. Very difficult. We got there, though. Alright, next game versus Razorjet. Alright. The Teferi Avatar. Double Swamp Cut Down, Warlock, double Liliana, and a Shelly. I think we gotta mulligan this. Just does not fit what we want. This is not amazing either with a double cut down, double Deep-Cavern Bat. Shelly, I think we do keep it. And I think we gotta bin the Shelly here. There's temptation to go down to 5 just to grab some discard, especially since we play them. We see them going down to 5 themselves. Immediately find the Ruthless Negotiation, though. Happy to do that. They're going to have to exile something, and they might very well not be happy to exile anything. They did have nowhere to run. That doesn't suck to get rid of, since that would have killed our bats. Hopeless Nightmare comes down. Okay, so we probably got a pretty good idea of what they are. We're going to bin the cut down. Probably playing the mirror here. Let's do Deep-Cavern Bat and try to confirm. Very different, actually. Possibly just running the Hopeless Nightmare for Scry, actually. Nowhere to run, the second copy is probably going to come down and kill our bat. It does indeed. They get their they get their Shelter by Ghost back. Now we got some choices to make. We can do Bandit's talent, force them to get rid of something they don't care about. We're going Deep-Cavern Bats first. I think I'm on board with the Deep-Cavern Bat first. We find this town ain't big enough. I think we just want to get rid of the Sheltered. They can come down and flash tap that if they want with the Floodpit's Drowner. Not really too much what I'm concerned about. They do, this town ain't big enough. Return both of those to their hand. Can't do anything else this turn though. We see Tinybones come in. That's interesting. What's the best way to play this? They're gonna have removal for something. So I guess let's Bandit's talent, figure out what they have in hand. Or remove something from their hand. They get to pick. They bin the Optimistic Scavenger. Go ahead and get in for 1, and then I think throw down Tinybones here. They're going to be able to get rid of one of our cards, so that cut down is gone, unfortunately. Now they have to pick between Deep-Cavern Bat and Tinybones. They do pick the Deep-Cavern Bat. I think that makes sense. They can't play Shelter though. They're really rough on lands right now. But maybe they've got one in hand because the turn has not ended. Yep, still waiting on them. Okay, they throw down planes. We find some interesting cards. Ruthless Negotiation. Let's see what they get rid of. Needs us 2 mana, so we can play Optimistic Scavenger. They exile the Hopeless Nightmare. I think that makes sense. I'm going to go ahead and get in for 1 here and play their Optimistic Scavenger. And then we also level up Bandit's talent, which is great. Doesn't trigger. They could play the creature, tap. Okay, now they have the mana for Sheltering. Oh man, they've also bounced the enchantment and get to play it again. Presumably they're going to remove our Tinybones then. Yep. Very nice. Ruthless Negotiation. I like this. They've got to get rid of one of the 2 cards. Presumably they get rid of that one. Yep. And now if they try to play Sheltered, we can actually just axe it out of their hand with cut down. They lose 2 life. They play another swamp. Do we see them go for the Sheoldred? We do. Fantastic. So now we get to cut down this. 2 for 1. And they're left in a pretty bad state, again, especially against our deck. Unfortunately, we don't draw the land, so we don't get the 2 card draws. We're doing 3 damage a turn, so we do need to up that clock if at all possible. Storm Chaser's Talent comes down. Pretty annoying. They get the Prowess 1/1 Blue Otter. I'm not ready to kill it yet. Am I okay trading my Scavenger for it? I think so. Do they want to block it? They say no. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and level up the Bandit's Talent here. I do want the 2 card draw on my next turn. And I'm not too worried about them dropping anything. I want to go for the throat here immediately. Okay. They get the town ain't big enough. Could have crab now. That'd be pretty annoying. We can Ruthless Negotiation, something out of their hand. Getting either this town ain't big enough or one of the big creatures out would be absolutely fine. They reveal just a Floodpit Drowner. Nope, another Storm Chaser's Talent. Alright, we go in for 1. Ping them for 2 more. They're saying they're thinking if they want to use this town on upkeep. They do. They go ahead and bounce the Nowhere, so they will kill our Optimistic Scavenger this turn. And they will get a second Otter next turn. Unfortunately, it would be really nice if we can draw some more discard this turn. Okay. Unfortunately, it costs too much to do Ruthless Negotiation, but we might be able to take, yeah, Storm Chaser's Talent out of their hand. That's huge. They lose 2 more. Are they going to go ahead and flash in the Floodpits? They're not. Okay, pass. I don't think we need to block the Otter. Okay, goes back to my turn. Okay, we'll take the draw. And we will Bandit's Talent here. We'd actually love 1 more mana, because then we could get rid of both. Is what it is. They gonna play something here? No? Okay. So now they have to discard a card. They go ahead and play out the Floodpits. I think this makes sense. They do get the tap regardless of what we do. I think that's fine. Then they bin a land. We go ahead and level up 1. In turn, they take 4 damage. Go for the throat really is being saved for Tolarian Terror or crab at the moment. Oh, I see. Okay, they've been. They get their card back. That's fine. They're still dead next turn. I don't think they have a way to stop it. Storm Chaser's Talent comes down. Otter gets Prowess. They get a second token. We go for the throat it. We draw 1, 2 cards. We play our 3rd Bandit's Talent. And that is definitely a good game. And they go ahead and scoop. Nice. Solid game. Mono black discard doing mono black discard things.